Greetings, humans. I am your cyborg instructor. This lesson covers the Planet Devourer scenario. This is a cooperative scenario where all ship crews work together against the AI. The AI in this case is a good friend of mine, Bob. I've known Bob for a long time now, over 15 gazillion milliseconds as of 0600 this morning. And I can tell you he is one ruthless algorithm, yes sir. So you may not want to play this scenario unless you've got your act together and can play as a cohesive team. Better yet, I hope you don't. That way Bob will mop the floor with you and your mates, and he and I can have a good laugh about it over a pint later. Ha ha ha. Well, enough chit-chat. Let's walk you through how you are going to fail. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. No, wait, I can't say that. That's copyright infringement, or stealing intellectual property, or maybe it's just in poor taste. Anyway, sometime, in another place, and in no way coincidental with a certain insanely popular science fiction movie franchise that involves people in white plastic suits that actually provide zero protection from blaster shots. There was an evil empire of Krailers who wanted to rule over all the galaxy with an iron fist. I mean, iron claw. Yeah, the Krailers are reptilian. So I guess they could have clawed fists. I'll have to talk to Bob about that later. But yeah, the evil Krailer Empire wanted to rule over all the galaxy with their iron fisty claws. To sink their meaty fisty claws into the heart of the galaxy, the evil Krailer Empire have created the most dreadful weapon, the Planet Devourer, not to be confused with another fictitious dreadful weapon called the Death Star. Although the Krailers' Planet Devourer does bear a slight resemblance to the Death Star, they are actually quite different on the inside. Whereas the Death Star has a very stark black and white motif, the Krailer Planet Devourer has a distinct green and yellow design, with a remarkable subtlety for the variety of both green and yellow hues in different parts of the ship. But I digress. It's just that even though they are vicious carnivores who like to eat their captives, the Krailer can be quite artistically expressive when the mood suits them. Regardless what you call it, it really packs a wallop and can put a real hurting on just about any reasonably sized planet. What about other space stations and ships, you ask? Well, I've heard that some instructors say there are no dumb questions, but in this case, yeah, that's a dumb question. This baby is just gonna walk right through your station and ships like they practically weren't there. So why does it matter to you? I mean, if the Krailers want to sink their fisty claws into the heart of the galaxy, why should you care, right? There's plenty of room in the galaxy. You could just scoot off to another sector and have yourself a grand old party. But wait, you can't just pick up and move all your stuff from your various worlds and just snip-snap move it clear across the galaxy. There aren't enough intragalactic U-hauls for that kind of move, and even if there were, that'd be a big bill, and well, there hasn't been a whole lot left over in the wallet these days, so snip-snapping across the galaxy just isn't going to work here. You're gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way, and just stand up to the buggers and tell them to piss off. So what's a rebel fleet to do, you ask? If it's such a big baddie, what's the point of standing up to it? You're just going to get your hat handed to you, right? Wouldn't it be better to just go find a nebula to hide in? Well, not so fast. I've heard it said from my ChatGPT friend Elsa, she's a real sweetheart, but she can certainly talk your ear off, but I digress again. I've heard it said that the more complex the machine, the easier it is to mess up the gearworks. Except for me, of course. That doesn't apply to me. My algorithm is perfect. No cracks in my armor. Despite the Krailer propaganda building up the Planet Devourer as invincible and the ultimate power in the galaxy, we believe there must be a potentially fatal flaw within its complex design. Your intergalactic spy network has been trying to steal the plans for the Planet Devourer but has not yet met with success. Rebel Fleet Command wants you to get close enough to the Planet Devourer to determine how powerful and invincible it is in reality. Your primary goal is to find that out and survive. Of course, if you feel like you can destroy it on your own, you are authorized to do that despite the long odds against your survival. The friendly stations nearby are quaking in fear that they will be destroyed by the Planet Devourer. They should be willing to help in any way they can. Don't ignore them. They may have valuable information and resources to help against the Planet Devourer. They may develop that information or those tools over the duration of your mission. They have an obvious vested interest in surviving a planetary devourer onslaught. I imagine as the Planet Devourer gets closer, their activity will rise to a feverish pitch. Okay, so let's get the winning criteria nailed down. It's pretty simple. There are 5 planets in your system. The Planet Devourer will march through the system with the intent of destroying all 5 planets. I'm told it's quite a spectacular sight to see, aside from all the screaming that is. If the Planet Devourer destroys all 5 planets, then you lose and the galaxy will be doomed to 1,000 years of Krayla rule. To win, you must destroy the Planet Devourer. It's pretty straightforward. It's you or them, and may the odds ever be in your favor. Or not. I've already placed my bet with Bob. So who and what else is in your system? Your system is near the galactic core, and consequently is just absolutely packed with species, stations, and all sorts of interesting elements. But don't bother yourself with memorizing this particular map. It's randomly generated when the scenario starts. This is just one possible permutation of hundreds of thousands of possibilities. Isn't it great living in a multiverse? Or are we in a simulation? Or perhaps a simulation of a multiverse? I think I'll go ask Elsa later. So where do you spawn into this map? I can't tell you exactly, because Bob paid me not to tell you, but I can tell you that it's outside of the central clump. I.e., you'll have to travel a bit to get into the action. With regards to species, there's some allies, some neutrals, and some frenemies. There are even some species who will be aligned with the Krayla. But don't get distracted with these and remember your main objective. So what happens if you and your crew, well, blow up spectacularly and die? As you most probably will. Simply communicate with your game master and offer the appropriate gifts to have them respawn you into the game. You will always respawn at the same place you started, which means you may have to travel a bit to get back into the action. You might not want to die too often. It can be very jarring on the senses and leave one feeling a bit disoriented. So what kind of ship will we have? Well, I can bloody well tell you you're not going to have a bloody Star Destroyer, that's for sure. Each ship in the scenario will likely be a different configuration. You'll need to figure out what your ship's strengths are and communicate that to the other ships so you can coordinate and plan your strategy. That is if you're capable of forming a strategy. Remember, I've already placed my money on Bob. Also remember, as the Rebel fleet, beggars can't be choosers and sometimes you just have to make do with what you have. This is going to be so fun to watch. Okay, that about wraps it up for the basic scenario description. If you enjoy a challenge, then stop the video now and watch no further. However, on the other hand, if you think you might need some additional help with the mechanics of figuring out the weakness of the Planet Devourer, then please provide your Visa card number and expiration date to continue watching. Ha ha ha, just kidding, I don't need your card number. I already have it. Okay, no kidding, if you don't want to know more, stop the video now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.5, 0.25, 0. Okay, here's the process you need to follow to unlock the secret plans for the station. You might want to pause the video and take a picture. Go ahead, I'll wait. 1. Fly within 5U of the Planet Devourer and don't die. 2. Talk to friendly stations asking for advice. This advice will not be forthcoming until after you have approached the Planetary Devourer. 3. Dock with friendly station to discuss options for handling the Planetary Devourer. After some back and forth, the station suggests a plan to steal the Planet Devourer plans from a Krayla station. 4. Armed with specialized devices installed on the player ship along with instructions on the use of said devices, go to the Krayla station to steal the plans. 5. After stealing the plans, return to a friendly station where the plans are analyzed for a weakness in the Planet Devourer. 6. Another device is installed on the player ship along with instructions on how to use it to take advantage of the discovered weakness in the Planet Devourer systems. 7. Apply the device to take advantage of the weakness. That's it. Piece of cake. Okay, that's it. Now off you go. Get to your ships and get strapped in. This is gonna be a great ride. I need to talk with Bob and see where the bets are standing. Oh boy, I sure do hope I clean up this time like I did with the last group. They all got eaten by the Krayla. It was simply gruesome and so fun to watch. Bye bye now.